I'm Greeny. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yes.
We got Coach Fizz coming by today.
Wow.
So you mean of all the places he could go sit down and interview, he's coming here?
Well, where else would he go?
No doubt.
Seems like the most
Man,
logical place.
y'all
Richard Jefferson's going to be here as well because we are looking ahead to a series we have been waiting for, it feels like, all of our lives. Houston, we have no problem. Rockets looking to put away the Jazz yesterday in his 13th NBA season. Chris Paul looking to finally make his way to a conference final alongside his running mate James Harden, and this one was the CP3 show. Literally knocking down a couple of threes there late in the half and then finding P.J. Tucker for another. The Rockets had an 8-point halftime lead, but Utah would not go away. And how good was this kid?
This kid is
Once
everything.
again last night, Donovan Mitchell, the rookie, scored 22 points in the third quarter last night, 8 of 11 shooting. He single-handedly outscored the Rockets in the period. But then a bad thing would happen. The Jazz had a 3-point lead going to the fourth quarter, and then you're going to see it here. Colliding knees with James Harden, and that, unfortunately, is how Donovan Mitchell's rookie season would end. He would go to the locker room. He would not come back into the game. Don't know whether it would have mattered or not because Chris Paul went crazy in the fourth quarter. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. 4 of 4 from behind the arc. He finishes with 41 points, 10 assists, 0 turnovers. First player with those numbers in NBA history. And again, he's finding P.J. Tucker there in the corner to put this one away. The Rockets win it in 5. They're on to the conference final.
It's a little bit of an indictment on our league that, you know, he could have a little bit of a label. And if you really watch the games and watch how he played in those games, he's been unbelievable a lot.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, he went out there and took over the game, you know, and especially for an opportunity like, you know, he's never had before. He went to go get it. You know, he put us all on his back and said, listen, you know, I got us.
And last night, he most certainly did. So, listen, the narrative on Harden and Paul and their respective playoff history are extraordinarily well known. Let's start with Chris Paul. His 13th year, he finally makes it to the NBA's Final Four. Does this remove the proverbial monkey from his back?
You guys look beautiful and handsome.
Stop it. Now he's going to say something negative.
I think that the proverbial monkey on his back will only be removed if they're able to beat the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul was already going to be a Hall of Famer regardless to this milestone in his personal career of making it to the Western Conference Finals. But that's not why he left the Clippers. That's not why he left New Orleans. He has to take down Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green. When you do that, then all of a sudden we start to talk about your legacy in a different way. But if they lose in 5 games in the next series, then that monkey will still be there.
I mean, can you partly take the proverbial monkey off one's back? I feel like it's like you had a D average, it's now a C average. Like you're definitely improving. I don't know that it's, I mean, it just happens to be the Warriors. In this particular case, he has to take down, but for him, it's more of a personal challenge. Like he just needs to advance. The Spurs fan in me was cringing last night. Those shots were amazing. Like, he was amazing. It shut up a lot of people, at least for the evening, and I guess we'll find out what happens in the next round. I don't think it's completely removed, and I think he would, you know, he wants a championship. And until then, it's not a win.
In today's game, Chris Paul has actually elevated himself into the quintessential point guard. And here's what I mean. Usually the guy that scores 40 points doesn't get you 10 assists with 0 turnovers.
Right.
He was always a pass-first guy. He attempted 10 three-point shots. He had never done that in the playoff game. So he has reinvented himself as he's gotten older and improved his game.
He is a statistics machine. You could put numbers on a piece of paper that would say he's the greatest point guard that ever lived. Now, no one who has watched him play would say that. Let me give you a couple of big numbers from him from last night. CP3 saving his best for last in Game 5. Again, 20 points in the fourth quarter, his first ever 20-point quarter at any point, any season, regular season or playoffs. He scored or assisted on 26 of the Rockets' 37 points in the fourth quarter, including each of the final 18. So he took that team to the Western Conference Finals. And let's get up and go. Catch up on everything you need to see. This is it now. Okay, guys, I'm done. This is the best halftime act I've ever seen. Just watch. This is Jazz Rockets last night.
You know what this is from? Have you seen the show Absinthe in Las Vegas?
I have not.
Wow.
That's what this is. An amazing show you should go see. It's the naughty version of everything.
Look at this.
Yep.
Look at this one. But they're just getting started here. Watch her start flipping around like this.
Wow. I've always been fascinated about how you practice something like that.
They just do.
That
Yeah, they do this in Vegas, and there are people around the table. It's kind of terrifying.
It's that to me
Might be
is,
them.
I've never enjoyed a halftime act more than I enjoyed that. It was more
What?
enjoyable, perhaps, than this game. We got the Warriors.
I
They were
know.
looking to finish off the Pelicans. That indeed they would do. And the third quarter is just where they own it all. They blew it open in the third quarter, as they always do, outscoring New Orleans 36-19 in that quarter. It's Golden State's 15th straight home playoff win. Jalen, we get the series everybody wanted, Warriors and Rockets.
We do, and I want to continue to stress to everyone, the signature shot in today's game is Steph Curry shooting from deep. That's the signature shot in basketball. When he's operating at optimum level, then it unlocks the Warriors offense to a point where they seem unbeatable.
All right, we're going to get heavily into this and looking ahead to the Western Conference Finals in a couple of minutes, but I'll also mention that this series would not have been complete without one more incident from Draymond. There he is listening in on the huddle as they're giving instructions to Rondo.
Oops.
And it's not the ref, it's not Alvin Gentry, it's not Rondo who got Green out of there. I mean, is this funny? What is it? Is it cute?
I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be funny if I was out there. It's funny to me because I'm sitting here watching it. But yeah, if I'm the Pelicans, I'm not laughing.
Well, the backstory is Alvin Gentry used to be an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors, so it's all fun and games because you notice Alvin didn't acknowledge
Yeah,
him,
but it's an
didn't look up.
elimination game. Like, nothing's fun in games at that point. Your season's almost over.
And now, indeed, it is over. The Warriors and the Rockets advance to the conference final. All right, baseball. How about the Big Maple?
That's
living up to his name in Toronto last night. Canadian-born James Paxton threw a no-hitter for the Mariners against the Blue Jays. He is the first Canadian-born pitcher to throw a no-hitter in Canada.
Whoa!
In
Mind
fairness,
blown.
He's only the second Canadian pitcher ever to throw a no-hitter, and the first was in 1945. He struck out 7. He got that great play. It's the third no-hitter in the majors this year.
This is why I love stats and researchers, because somebody was like, what's special about this? First Canadian to do it in Canada.
And he actually has the maple leaf tattooed on his arm.
Canadians are proud people.
So this was a very big deal for him. And there are going to be a lot, and I do mean a lot, of no-hitters in baseball this year. And there's the headline in the paper this morning. Amazing. I would once say, I'm very bad at that accent.
At the Seattle Times.
Amazing. That's the Seattle Times. It's a good headline, I guess.
Just saying that.
Giancarlo Stanton. Say something in Italian, Beetle. Came up big for the Yankees last night. He mashed not one but 2 solo home runs as the Yankees beat the Red Sox 3-2 in the opener of that series.
Non si può stopparlo. That was his saying, but he stopped doing it.
Molto grazie. They've won 16 of 17. You ready for this? The Yankees, 98, all those great teams never won 16 out of 17 games in a stretch.
What are you trying to say, Greeny?
The last time the Yankees won 16 games in a 17-game stretch was 1953.
Are you saying that this is
something
a
special
sign of
this
things
year?
to come?
I'm saying they've never been this good in a 17-game stretch.
I'm happy that the Yankees are good again so Yankee fans can come back out of the closet. They've been quiet the last handful of years.
Yes, it's very difficult to rouse a Yankee fan. Orioles starter Dylan. Okay, so here's the opposite. If you think you had a bad day yesterday, just say, at least I wasn't Dylan Bundy. Okay, so he gave up a home run there. Now he gave up another one. This is in the first inning, and he has not recorded an out yet. Okay, so you think to yourself, there's no way in the world this could possibly happen. It hasn't given, that's a third one. He hasn't recorded an out yet. Please tell me it's not going to happen again.
Come on.
He became the first pitcher in modern baseball history to give up 4 home runs without recording an out. His final line, 0 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks.
No.
And then we got a fight.
What's happening, guys?
All right, so we got the benches clearing yesterday. There's really not much of a fight going on here. It's a very mild benches clearing episode, so mild that Chris Bryant and Starlin Castro broke the tension. They had a tickle fight.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
That's a tickle fight.
What's happening?
No, look. That's Chris Bryant. That's that's
you.
They're tickling. They're tickling each other.
Oh,
Jalen?
baseball.
They're former
Jalen,
teammates.
you can't like this.
Well, they're former teammates, and they're homies.
Does that make it okay?
Does that make
makes
the
it okay
tickling better?
because it lets me know that that's what they were doing when they played together.
All right, here come Tiger and Phil. Speaking of, well, they were never really teammates except on Ryder Cups. They're longtime rivals, and now all of a sudden they're very good friends. And starting yesterday, they're going to play together at the Players' Championship.
The excitement that's been going on around here, it gets me thinking, why don't we just bypass all the ancillary stuff of a tournament and just go head-to-head and just have a kind of a high-stakes winner-take-all match? Now, I don't know if he wants a piece of me, but
definitely not against that. We'll play for whatever makes him uncomfortable.
And what would that be?
We'll find out.
Yeah, there might be a whole lot of money on the table for that thing. What do you think?
Thumbs up, yeah?
Thumbs up. Oh, it's up.
Can I talk about the genius that I see behind this? And I just talked about this from Chris Paul. When you get older as an athlete, the key is reinventing yourself. Since these aren't the top players in the game no more, remember, when they were the best players, they didn't get along.
They talk to each other.
Now that they're not the best players, they figure, what do we have in common besides golf? Making a lot of money. Since we're not probably going to win the major, let's still find a way to make the most money. Genius.
I agree with everything you said, except I believe that at least one of them will win a major again. I do not think they're done. I think Phil.
Yeah, I knew you did.
I think Mickelson is going to win.
I mean, you can play golf and they can play another 30 years.
No.
If they only win one, that still doesn't make them.
Well, in 30 years, they're going to be in their 70s, and that's not likely to happen. It's going to happen in the next year. All right, let me give you my favorite athlete of all time right this second, and this is really an incredible and emotional story around the world of baseball. After taking a day to be with his family following death of his mother, Gretchen, A's outfielder Stephen Piscotty received a standing ovation last night in his first at-bat. His mother died Sunday evening after being diagnosed with ALS a little over a year ago, and there are a lot of nice parts of what is obviously a very sad story. The Oakland A's are matching up to $50,000 in memorial contributions made to the ALS Therapy Development Institute. Cubs pitchers John Lester and Yu Darvish have each donated $10,000 to the cause. And you may be aware that during last offseason, Piscotty was traded from the Cardinals to the A's specifically so that he could be near his mother during what everyone knew was going to be a difficult battle, and indeed it was. So, again, in what is a very sad story, there's some very nice moments.
I applaud his courage for rejoining the team. I'm really close to my mom, so I can only imagine how he feels in this situation. But that's why I like that we do these, because so many times as national media, you only play the hits. You only talk about 10 players in 5 teams. I appreciate that we go deeper into the box score.
Don't worry, we're still going to talk about those 10 players. That's coming up next.
And one of them is Chris Paul, and that is on the way. Chris Paul, does he feel like a weight has been lifted, or is this where the pressure really starts to build? We will take a deep dive into CP3 coming up next, but first we will play a game we enjoy, and it's called Two Stats and a Lie.
Okay.
About the Western Conference Finals. All right, here are 3 stats. One of them is not true. Is it that the Rockets and Warriors were the 2 best teams this season by offensive efficiency? Is that a lie? Or is it that this will be the Warriors' first playoff series under Steve Kerr against an opponent with a better regular season record? Or is it that Mike D'Antoni has never had a series lead in the conference finals as a head coach? One of those is not true. Jalen's going to take a guess. He's going to get it wrong.
Beetle knows.
Smart Money says he's going to get it wrong.
Glasses make her smarter.
The answer's next. I love the glasses. I love them.
Debbie Ocean, convicted felon. Her brother, Danny Ocean, more convicted felon.